So you all know we love Knocked Loose here. And this was like such a and Dryden, you probably have some stuff to add to this, so I'll read some of this article. But like, this is a good like, as someone, Knocked Loose is the new generation of like real heavy shit, and it's good to see that breaking through into the mainstream on it. Even though I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Kimmel, he does have some good musical guests. I saw Incubus there with your mom a while back, so
yeah.
Anyway, people who listen to this have no room to complain about crying babies.
Literally with his mom.
Yeah.
I thought you were just making a dig, like, hey, I saw it with your mom.
Saw the show with your mom, bro. Yeah, no, we actually went to a taping of Jimmy Kimmel and saw Incubus play. And it was like, Jimmy Kimmel's cool for that too, because they do like a mini concert. They have it's all set up behind the building. So it's like in a parking lot, and it's like a pretty dope stage. And it's like it's like a venue. It's not like you're in some shitty little TV studio sound thing. It's like, I'm sure for bands it's great too, because it's like professional sound, not in a goddamn TV. I've heard so many bands complain of like how hard it is to sound good on like Saturday Night Live or like a TV show where it's not really made for a live band, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, people who listen to set this up too, Knocked Loose was on Jimmy Kimmel. And a bunch of people supposedly complained. I wonder how much of this is just trolls being amplified or PR, you know?
Honestly, I thought that, but to be honest, Knocked Loose is a very interesting like choice to have on. It's very abrasive, like the vocals and stuff. And from my experience and the people that watch Jimmy Kimmel for sure still, I could see them being upset about this kind of music and being like, oh, that's the devil or whatever, you know.
Fair. People who listen to this have no room to complain about crying babies or screaming 2-year-olds. Knocked Loose's Jimmy Kimmel performance annoyed all the boring Facebook parents you'd expect it to.
Exactly.
That's a long headline, but it's a pretty good one because it has a quote in it. Metalheads loved it when Knocked Loose and Poppy destroyed Jimmy Kimmel Live this week. These people did not. Pearl clutching viewers have it. This is from Metal Hammer, Consequence of Sound website. Colette actually sent it, so props Colette, even though you're not here tonight. Pearl clutching viewers have expressed their anger at Knocked Loose playing Jimmy Kimmel Live this week. UK newspaper The Mirror has collected a number of incensed reactions to Tuesday's musical performance, which saw the hardcore stars smash their way through Suffocate with genre smashing. There's a lot of smashes in that sentence.
Yeah.
Genre smashing solo act Poppy. Do a better job, editing staff. The fury is, as you'd expect, hilarious and hyperbolic. You know, I was trying to enjoy the program, one Facebook user starts to see before insisting the show was so brutal it made their teenage son burst.
See, this made me so mad when I saw stuff like this because, okay, your teenage son is a pussy. And second of all, turn off the program.
Change the channel.
Like, go watch something else.
What time is Jimmy Kimmel on?
I have no idea.
It's late night. It's like 11. It's like 10 or it's probably 10 or 11.
So like what the teenagers that are going to cry over this, are they even staying up?
They should have already had some warm breast milk and gone to bed.
If you listen to music and if you listen to metal and it makes if it makes you burst into tears of how like scary and sad it is, it's like, dude, you got some other problems going on.
You have deep emotional control issues.
Yeah, what the hell?
I was sitting on the couch with my son, who's an adolescent, waiting to see the musical guest because we like nice music. The show usually books. By the third or fourth junt from the guitar. I love that term, by the way. I had never heard that, junt.
Yeah,
because that's how metal guitars sound. Junt.
That's where the gent on a t-shirt.
I like junt better because it's like one letter away from being one of my favorite words in the English language. Yeah. The junt from the guitars. My son was in tears. He doesn't like scary things, and quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and its staff should make a formal apology. I bet someone from Knocked Loose wrote that.
Yeah, that would be funny. Well,
if I was in their band, I would have done that. I would have been like, "These guys are terrible."
He responded kind of to people's outrage, and I think he tweeted on Twitter. He was just like, "If you're scared or you're sad about it, good. Like that's the point.
Don't
point
bury
of
the lead.
music.
That's in here.
Okay, cool.
Other outraged viewers repeated the age-old criticism thrown at metal with extreme vocals that they can't understand the lyrics and that the music is worthless as a result. I've always said, sidebar, that the reason hardcore lyrics are unintelligible is because it forces you to read the fucking lyric sheet. That's the way I always understood the purpose behind the throaty vocals.
I agree.
What do you think, Joey?
I agree. I mean, to me, it's not like this is a new genre that just came out. Like, this has been around for decades, and if people are shocked, they've been living under a rock.
Yeah, and like the staff at Jimmy Kimmel, a lot of them are probably metal guys. Like a lot of the dudes on the staff, like the grips and the people that work behind the scenes, they probably know who Knocked Loose is.
Right.
Yeah.
If I have to read the lyrics, I'll just read them and not listen to someone yell them, says one. That wasn't singing. Anyone can yell lyrics and get paid. Another Facebook.
But you do it.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Get up
about
there
that.
and you
Anyone
do it.
can. Let's get a good band together. Another Facebook complainer adds in a string of typos. I think this is supposed to say was. This was not enjoyable, and you can't understand more than 5% of the lyrics. Moshing doesn't equal dancing. How do I sing along with this? Someone else asks. LOL, just sounds just like a screaming frenzy to me. Actually starting to hurt my ears. People who listen to this have no room to complain about crying babies or screaming 2-year-olds taking a tantrum. Haha, unreal. They call this music, Jimmy.
See, people will listen to this or will say that and then be like the Kurt Cobain of metal fan or of rap fans.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what? I don't know what you expect. Like, there's music that you don't like, and there's music that you might also like. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always about the vocals, because with metal, it's like that's what always I feel like, especially like the heavy shit, like hardcore. It's like what sets it apart from the mainstream is that vocal style, and it's really not that as much about the vocals, or maybe it's even more about the vocals because it's more about the lyrics than the actual melody of the vocals. You get the melody, like for example, the Black Dahlia Murder is a very melodic band, but it's all in their guitar riffs, and the vocals are just like.
I just feel I honestly think that this is one big troll.
Yeah, I think
it feels that way. If it's serious, I just feel sorry for people. Like, if you don't know how to scroll social media and just pass on things you disagree with, or click mute or off on things that you don't like on Jimmy Kimmel, like, it's just stupid.
It would be funny if they issued a formal apology, but let's keep going. It'd be even more funny if they actually did apologize for their own music. It's not all bad, though. The Mirror turned to X, formerly Twitter, and found several people thrilled to see Knocked Loose on the airwaves. By the way, we are on X Live right now for the first time today. So props to X, Twitter. I still call it Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. They write, some kid is going to be up late tonight casually watching Jimmy Kimmel and hear Knocked Loose for the first time, and they're going to say, I want to start a fucking band like that and change their whole life. That's how important this is. Sorry, I missed that first part. And found that several people thrilled to see Knocked Loose on the airwaves. One points out that seeing music so different from the norm on national TV could be inspiring to many people. So, some kid's going to see it and be inspired. Despite the red-faced parents taking aim at them, Knocked Loose are doing quite well at the minute. 2 weeks before the Kimmel concert, Suffocate was nominated for the 2025 Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance, pitting Knocked Loose against Metallica, Judas Priest, Gojira, and Spirit Box in competition for the prize. The winner will be named at the Los Angeles ceremony on February 2nd. And so, to your point, I thought that they said something about it, Dryden, but go ahead and repeat what you were talking about with what Brian said.
Yeah, the singer, Brian, I don't know if it was like in an interview. I'm pretty sure I just saw a tweet of him saying it. But basically, he basically said, if anyone's offended or you're scared, then good. Like, that's the point. And I just want to say, too, like, this is so awesome for me because I feel like I definitely did not like Knocked Loose at first, as I'm sure many people did, mostly because of the vocals. It just didn't vibe with me. But the more I listened to them, it became better to listen to. And I think what got me really into them was when they played at Coachella it was like a year or two ago. But just stuff like that, I feel like definitely Knocked Loose has been that band that's been like taking metal for this generation to another level. And like same thing at Coachella, people were like, what is this? Like, what the hell? But it's like, because no one's really, I mean, bands have played Coachella, but like a band like Knocked Loose playing Jimmy Kimmel or Coachella, it's been a while. Like they're pretty aggressive, pretty hardcore. They have like some mathy stuff. So it's pretty dope to see that.
A band with deathy vocals.
Yeah, and he did that. There's a squeal. I'm sure you guys have all seen the performance. He does like a squeal. Everyone's like all hyped on how he did a squeal on live TV.
I saw it on TikTok. I didn't want to play. I was gonna play take some clips, but I like anything that's off mainstream TV like that. Usually we get it slapped with the copyright.
Yeah, and if anyone's watching this, they've probably seen it.
They've seen it. Yeah, most people have seen it. It was big news. Well, that's a good segue into our next segment, which is about Body Count performing on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon this week. This is from the story
this
from
Wednesday.
Last week. Yeah. So apparently it's a thing now the Body Count also we'll get into this in the article, but Body Count has a new album out, so they're out promoting it, and that's part of it. But also Ice-T, to be fair to Knocked Loose, I think it's a much bigger deal for Knocked Loose because Ice-T's already like on Law and Order SVU. He's already been like in entertainment for a long time, so he has a ton of connections. And so not that Body Count isn't great, don't get me wrong, but it's probably a lot easy for him to get a gig like that where this is I forgot I had this sound drop, but this is a Body Count sound drop I
have. Evil Dick.
Yeah, so Body Count famously, I don't know if you know this, Joey. I don't know how much I'm sure you're not a Body Count fan.
I know about this much about them.
So back in the 90s, Body Count was very controversial. They had an album called Cop Killer. And it was like one of the most like controversial. My dad had it, and my mom would like hide it in the closet so I couldn't. Of course, that was the first album I pulled out and listened to, but it has a lot of really dark and like third rail type subject matter. Like there's one song called KKK Bitch that's about him like banging the daughter of the grand the head of the KKK. Grand Wizard, sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. I was going to say like the ultimate mage of level 13 mage of the like it's a role-playing game, but
kind of is.
Yeah. Anyway, the guys that wear the pointy white hoods and look like ghosts. Anyway, Body Count was a controversial band, and now Ice-T is on like Law and Order SVU. So Body Count, metal band fronted by hip hop legend, actor, director Ice-T, will perform on next Wednesday's, so that's this Wednesday's episode of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Body Count is continuing to tour in support of its latest album, Merciless, which came out November 22nd via Century Media. Regarding why it took 4 years to complete Merciless, Ice-T told Kerrang! Magazine, "We dropped Carnivore in March 2020, and then the pandemic dropped right on top of us. We never got to tour on that album, even though we had like 40 different dates in Europe because I'm on television. We only have this little 2-month block where we can get out on the road." Then the label were like, "Give us another record." And I was like, "What? You want me to just go shit out another record real quick?" We just won the Grammy for so we were real high, but it was all still pretty difficult to grind another album out. I needed time. When you release an album having maybe written 20 songs, of which 12 make it, you're all out of ideas, and you don't want to rehash those ideas again. But once we got going, we got it done. I will say there's a song on this album called Psychopath that's definitely one of my top favorite metal tracks of this year, and it has the singer from Fit for an Autopsy on it.
Okay.
You heard that song, Joey? Psychopath?
I don't, but I know Fit for an Autopsy. So
yeah, that song is hard. I love the riff in it. It's like kind of like a Slayery riff, but the lyrics are like real simple. And Ice-T just kind of just talks over the music, He does sing a little bit though. I'll give him credit.
I was gonna say that's what I dig the most about Body Count is they have some really like it's a lot of kind of simple riffing. It's still badass, but the lyrics, Ice-T's got some really killer like rhymes and like. Mm-hmm. It's like that. What's that one record? I think it's with No Lives Matter on it. I forget what it's called. But that record, it's like black. It's got like, you know, the dude in the mask and stuff with black hoodie and all that stuff on it.
Black
that
hoodie.
Good.
What is that album called? Hold on.
Yeah, I forget. I think it might be
I don't remember the name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's was it Carnivore? No, it's not Carnivore. It's Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Okay.
Bloodlust, the 2017 one.
And I believe too, it would make sense because they're doing a song with the singer of Fit for an Autopsy. I believe Will Putney is behind a lot of the production on their stuff, so it sounds really tight and just it hits real hard. They have like a really heavy drum sound.
Yeah, here, check this out real quick. I want to show you just a little clip of this, Joey. This Psychopath song. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can find that. Where is it? That's not it. Yeah, let's rip. Anyway, that's a killer song.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say if people were mad about Knocked Loose, they're definitely not gonna be excited about Body Count. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So last month, this is an interesting side point. Last month, Body Count released a music video for its powerful rendition of "Comfortably Numb," featuring David Gilmour. I didn't know this.
Dope.
A fresh take on the classic Pink Floyd track explores the themes of detachment and introspection. I knew they had put the song out, but I didn't know David Gilmour was on it.
Okay.
Gilmour's seminal guitar work adds a haunting, authentic touch, seamlessly blending with Body Count's signature intensity and Ice's profound new lyrics, making the track a fusion of rock history and raw modern energy. Ice-T commented, "For me, Comfortably Numb is an introspective song. It's me acknowledging that I'm older now. I'm telling the younger generation, you've got two choices. You can keep the fire burning or you can give up. It's me trying to make the sense of what's happening, but also pointing out that we're at a place where we don't have to face reality. We've got flat screen TVs and popcorn, and we can just sit back and watch the chaos of the world like it's a TV show. It doesn't feel real until it shows up at your door. I'm a little numb too. We all are." That's pretty cool. Ice-T does usually have some pretty profound stuff to say. I mean, not that's his viewpoint, but he's always been that kind of guy. It's kind of his history. But Gilmour stated, "Body Count's version of Comfortably Numb is quite radical, but the words really struck me. It astonishes me that a tune I wrote almost 50 years ago is back with this great new approach. They've made it relevant again. The initial contact from Ice-T was for permission to use the song, but I thought I might offer to play on it as well. I like the new lyrics. They're talking about the world we're living in now, which is quite scary." So that's pretty cool to get a cosign like that from David Gilmour.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pull this down for a second so we can set this up, Joey. So yeah, anyway, check out Ice-T and Body Count on Jimmy Fallon this week on Wednesday night. If you're into heavy shit.
Jimmy Kimmel.
What's that?
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ice-T is on Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Kimmel. There's so many Jimmys. It's hard to keep track.
I thought it was the same Jimmy because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said.
I did too. I wasn't paying that close attention.
No, it's Jimmy Fallon, guys, from Saturday Night Live. Jimmy Kimmel was on the Man Show. And Jimmy Kimmel actually did blackface once. He used to like make fun of Karl Malone from the Jazz.
So did Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon didn't.
I think he did.
I think you're mixing your Jimmys up, bro.
I just think I'm pretty sure like all those big talk show hosts have been.
Jimmy Fallon might have. He might have.